It's still difficult to explain, man. It's like
It's the one and only
Ryan.
Bigfoot.
You know I'm mobbing with the Mister.
Well, that's a pretty deep dive into exactly what's happening at like a
let me
scientific
try it.
level.
Let me try it again with Taylor Swift. Okay, so
Oh yeah.
you think Taylor Swift was born you think Taylor Swift is just a boy straight up and it's just been feminized?
Well, that's the that we can observe that based
All
on the
right.
bone
So
structure, right? Born a male, raised as a female.
so XX is female, but they discovered the gene that actually triggers male development on the Y. XY is male. They discovered a gene on the Y chromosome, which is solely responsible for developing the male anatomy. So, what they've done using that CRISPR technology is they've taken that gene and they've somehow attached it to this thing's chromosome. So now you can have it, it's a XX, it's a female, like it would be female, it's got a female mind, but yet it'll develop the body of a male. All right, let me try to explain this again with this new magazine cover that I just recently found. So I was actually researching a different androgynous celebrity, and I found this magazine cover. So I've went over the symbolism before of the black rose, which is what this dress is decorated with, black roses. So it's the rose plus the black stone, and that's what equals the black rose. So they use rose, again, because it's the past tense of the verb to rise. And what's rising is the devil or Satan. This is from the Bible, Revelation 20, the biblical devil or Satan. And it's rising from the hole without a bottom, also known as the abyss, the void, the bottomless pit, etc., etc. So after 1,000 years, he must be freed for a while. So that's what's going on now. The biblical Satan, or the devil, is being freed from its prison on account of this bacteria, which is symbolized by the black stone, which they say is a meteorite. We learned from Joe Dirt that it's actually a big old frozen chunk of poopy. And that's because, again, in bacteria, they discovered the genome editing technology that scientists use to selectively modify the DNA of living organisms, CRISPR. So in that video with Mr. E, I was trying to explain this genetic alteration involving the SRY gene. So SRY, I also have a video on my page, Sorry Not Sorry, which I think explains it some. So the SRY gene, which stands for Sex Determining Region Y gene. So essentially, again, XX is female, XY is male. On the Y chromosome, there exists a gene, the SRY gene, which is responsible, they say, for male development. So they've taken that one single gene off the Y chromosome and attached it to chromosome. In the documentary that I watched involving cattle, they attached it to chromosome 17 and to the parent. So then when that parent reproduces, it was a bull, it was a male, so when that male reproduces, that SRY gene that was included into its 17th chromosome is expressed in its offspring. So if it has an XX daughter, that XX daughter would inherit that SRY gene on chromosome 17, and that is a dominant gene. So that XX, which would normally develop as a female, that because it has that SRY gene, which again is a dominant gene and is responsible for male development on chromosome 17, it takes precedent over female development, and it develops what shoulda, coulda been a female embryo into a male embryo. And that's what I think Taylor Swift is. So I seen this magazine, so let's just go over this a little bit. You just draw a line down the middle. You've got the female on one side, male on the other. So there's androgyny being expressed. There's the Venus pudica, the bearing of the one breast, the covering of the one breast, with this arm here covering this breast. But look at this here. SRY. Remember, it's the SRY gene, which is responsible for male development. Now look, the first two letters of this word plus the last two letters plus the last two letters of the second word. SRY gene. Right there on this magazine cover with Taylor Swift doing all the androgynous symbolism. With this header on this magazine cover, his naked body explained. And also, I sort of mentioned this before, all this plus symbolism coming out now. So there it is on this magazine cover too. I'll tell you that sometimes there'll be a plus, or they'll actually just have the word plus. I don't know if you're aware, but all of these media platforms coming out now with all their plus, Disney Plus, AMC Plus, Hulu Plus, all that plus stuff. So I sort of interpret that as, the pluses are those with the bits and pieces of, again, the biblical devil or Satan, which again rose from the hole without a bottom on account of the genome editing technology discovered in bacteria.